So, hi Virgo, my name is Chris, and this is your wonderful reading for whenever you find it, but it's kind of the summer 2026 reading, that's for sure. Seismic shift reading 2026, check out your yearly reading as well. Sun, Moon, and Rising if you want the full picture. There's the Five of Cups, kind of coming from the Five of Pentacles. We've been through some shit, right? We don't need to explain that. By the way, I'm not doing the Celtic Cross. There is the Wheel of Fortune. I'm doing something else. 9-card spread. Six of Pentacles. That should be here, actually. Six of Pentacles. And we got the 10 of Pentacles. You can do it like this. Makes more sense like that. Six of Pentacles to the 10 of Pentacles, but let's just keep it. Let's not cheat here, right? This is the right corner. This is the left upper corner. Okay. Then we got the Two of Swords, keeping. So what's happening here is already there's a lot of manifestation, there's a lot of things that are crystallizing out, there are a lot of good stuff. 10 of Pentacles, we are immersing ourselves in our own creation. The universe is giving something back, that is definitely 10 of Pentacles. So down to earth things that could be money. I mean, everybody likes to think about money when she sees the 10 of Pentacles, right? But this is more something is into the physical or into the real world manifesting itself. And when I say manifesting, this is not kind of woo-woo stuff, but this comes from your determination, from what you do, from what you think, what you focus your energy on, what you create, what you do on a daily basis, right? So this is not lovey-dovey wishful thinking stuff, right? So the fruits of your labor, right? You invested a lot and you get something out of it. There's the page of, not the page of the Knight of Wands here. Knight of Wands combined with the Two of Swords. So there seems to be a lot happening, right? So there is the Wheel of Fortune, there is movement, there is passion, there is forward momentum, things like that. Justice, you deserve this, and it's kind of your destiny. You're coming from a very good position, and finally things might fall into place. Totally deserved. In all that, there is kind of a broken heart aspect here with the Five of Cups here in the left corner, past energy. Heal that. You're still in a healing process, I would say. So it's very important as you go forward. You know, I said this before in 2025, 2026 is the first year where the new system, the new energies, the new frequencies, mainly Pluto in Aquarius, is finally taking off, right? The newer frequency, the new system, so to speak, is more functional, is stronger, has a better frequency to it than the old system. And the old system is collapsing. But you might still have, you know, in the old system, so to speak, in the old version of yourself, in what you did before, in how you did it before, there might be still kind of a broken heart here. You got rid of something that was connected to your heart space, whether it was narcissistic abuse, whether it was abandonment, whether you lost people, whether you lost relationships, something like that, something that your heart was connected to. But there is something very, very toxic also related to that which you lost. So you might have lost something, but in the long run, Wheel of Fortune, that was better this way, because there was something very, very toxic to what you lost. Relationship, job, way of living, habits, things like that, right? You lost it, it was kind of yours, it was emotionally attached to you, and you lost it. And that loss and that processing, where you still have to accept the fact that it's just how it was, or it is just what it is, right? Que sera, sera, so to speak. What happened, happened, but there's still healing in operation. as you go forward in abundance towards your destiny, I might add, with total support from the universe. So let's just see what comes up. There's the 9 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles. You standing your ground with the 7 of Wands, not jumping down into the mud with the pigs. There is the Queen of Wands in the center and the 10 of Wands. You got the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Pentacles. So completion. 9 of Pentacles, low-hanging fruits. You're creating something and it's much easier than before. You don't have to struggle so hard. There's something that you have to finish off or let go of. That is probably related to that energy. There's a healing process in process, I would say. Keep doing that. And when I say keep healing yourself, don't stop being kind to yourself. Apply your medicine. The best medicine you can apply is breath work. You know, if you have negative energy to release, 10 seconds in, 20 seconds out. Maybe you're just doing 8 seconds in or 7 seconds out, but make sure you do 14 or respectively 16 seconds out. So the out breath should always be 2 times the in breath, and you're releasing tension, anger, frustration, all that jazz. That jazz, by the way. That's the healing process. Do that. And then it's all about focusing your energy on passionate, joyful creation in alignment with your subconsciousness. You're still in the healing process of your subconscious frequency. But this is you know, you're getting something out of it. The universe is on your side, and it shows the wound is finally healing, I would say, with the 6 of Pentacles. But keep doing the healing stuff, meditation and breath work. That's very, very important. And then just keep doing what you're doing. There is a continuity, is that the word? You just keep doing what you're doing. Low-hanging fruits. 9 of Pentacles, you just have to pick the grapes, show up for something, do what you wanted to do, you know, own up to your own goals and statements, so to speak. You know, if you say, okay, I do breathwork and meditation every day, then show up for it, do it, actually do it. And the moment you do it, there's an instant effect on your physical body, on your consciousness. And also, you know, it could be the physical body, but it's definitively, you know, there's a lot of coins here, right? 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. But you have to show up for it. You know, you have to do your homework, so to speak. You have to, you know, it's not wishful thinking, so you have to do something for it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Emotional mastership, the King of Cups is clarifying the 5 of Cups. That's how you come out of this. You offered something new. So 3 cups are down, and in the opposite corner with the Wheel of Fortune, with your destiny, there's the Page of Cups kind of offering you, or kind of, there are 2 cups still standing. So what's left is enough, even if you have lost something. And realizing that and accepting that, even accepting that there was something very, very toxic attached to the old, even if a lot of good stuff fell over with it, you still got 2 cups left. And one of these cups might be the old way, 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, and there's the other cup that might be related to something new, something unexpected, something that you wouldn't have done 10 years ago. You know, something more like tarot cards, right? Or esoteric, or yoga, or fitness, or meditation, or breathwork, what I always preach. By the way, I'm not the yoga guy here. I'm Buddhist, right? So what I teach, or what I recommend, I would say, is indeed breathwork. 10 seconds in, 20 seconds out, 5 seconds in, 10 seconds out, whatever you can do. But you should push out the breath at the end. that releases negativity and just fuels your body with oxygen and energy and beautiful vitality. Do that and do meditation. I'm not the yoga guy. That's a different channel. I'm more on the Zen side of things, right? So if that's your channel, I'm more on the empathic side, empathy, Buddhistic Zen principles. That's what I'm doing here. There is the, where are we going? The Ace of Wands here. Then there's the Five of Wands. Then we got the, where is this next? There's the Knight of Swords with the Nine of Pentacles, so low-hanging fruits. There's some grapes waiting for you. Something that you can do instantly or very short-term, like, I know, and you just get something out of it. Do that. Do what you can with what you've got where you are right now, and you get something out of it. 9 to the 10 of Pentacles. Just do it. You know exactly what to do. There is something on your to-do list that you can do. Do that. Discernment, King of Swords, King of Cups now. Both of them balance. Balance with your subconscious energy and your manifestation power, your Wands energy. And there's a lot of Wands energy, a lot of passion, a lot of Cups energy as well. King of Cups, Page of Cups. It's pretty mixed actually. There's Pentacles, 9 and 10 of Pentacles, Cups energy a lot, Wands energy in the center. So following your passion would definitely be a good start. And you got two columns here. One is the practical thing where you just do what you can with what you've got where you are right now. And it should be very obvious to you what to do. So stop procrastinating if you're in that frequency and just get the thing done. It will pay off big time. And then there's the emotional side of it, dealing with a broken heart, dealing with a loss, dealing with narcissistic abuse, coming out of this true discernment, standing your ground. There's the 7 of Wands here as well, with the King of Swords, King of Cups, with the 5 of Cups, to the Page of Cups, and your destiny, right? So the wound that you're still healing emotionally has everything to do with your calling in life, with that second column. First column of your life is that practical thing where you just get the things done and get something out of it. That might be a day job, or that might be something that pays the bills, right? And then you do something on the side that is just completely coming out of that loss, that 5 of Cups energy. And in doing that, in healing yourself through what is coming or what is still standing, what is still left, what's left is enough is what I'm hearing, and giving that loving attention, that lesson that you've learned, that version of yourself that you no longer, maybe you have been, that's an empath channel, maybe you've been too nice to people. There's such a thing as being too nice, and people take advantage of you if you're too nice to them, I tell you. So it's not a good idea. You can still be kind, but you be smart about it, right? You're not allowing just everybody to take from you. You're not offering to give all the freaking time. There's such a word, and it's called no in many languages, also in the English language. It's a very powerful one. Saying no is, that's okay. You know, we really have to learn that. And maybe you were saying yes in the old version of yourself to a lot of things that were just not good for you. And you were just maybe a little people-pleasing. Could that be? I mean, it's a Virgo reading. It's growing out of something through healing yourself, and that healing process, you know, kind of wounded healer energy. So you learn something from disappointment, and in applying that into your life, that might become part of your destiny as a teacher, as a, I don't know, guide, as a spiritual healer, emotional healer, just by your sheer presence, but just by embodying that. Queen of Wands here, working with your subconsciousness. Protection. So whatever you went through, whatever you're going through, you're protected in this. If you found this channel, definitively, and there is Dove Spirit, be peace. So don't pick up any fights that are unnecessary. Always protect your inner peace and just focus on building your own life. And you don't have to share that with other people necessarily, right? You just do what you need to do, what you can with what you've got where you are right here, right now. And that, what it is that you're creating, there's a very rational, down-to-earth, practical, pays the bills approach. But then there's also that, what have I learned in my life so far, and how can I make that into something? Whether it's creating art, whether it's writing a book, whether it's writing a poem, maybe you start a YouTube channel. You know, if you have something to say, if you have something to contribute, or your personal perspective to share, or something like that. If it's coming from a place of authentic healing, right? If it's intended to build a new system, build reciprocity, build abundance, build healing and spiritual growth, basically. If the intention is peaceful and good, then by all means do it. So that's pretty much the reading here. And what if you started loving yourself the way you wanted them to love you? And I put that with this combination. What if you started loving yourself the way you wanted them to love you? Be yourself a friend. And that's what you learned, right? Being yourself a friend. Not constantly looking outside for validation, you know, but being yourself that friend. First rule of mental health, learn to distinguish who deserves an explanation, who deserves only an answer, and who deserves absolutely nothing from you. Say no. You know, there's the king. We haven't talked about this combination. Standing your ground, healthy boundaries, not jumping down into the mud with the pigs. King of discernment, king of swords, that's the wise. You learn something in your emotional body, and you learn something big in your discernment, in your intellect, right? Be smart about it. Don't fight windmills. Be an agent of peace. Peace angel is here. And then this quote, you know, first rule of mental health, learn to distinguish who deserves an explanation, who deserves an answer, and who deserves absolutely nothing. And these people down here with their sticks, they can barely reach you. You got the upper ground, right? You don't want to jump down to them and fight with them and argue with them and engage in their drama. No, these people don't even deserve an answer. The people here, up here, you know, they deserve an answer, maybe. But even then, you have to choose whether you even want to engage with people or not. And you're certainly not jumping down into the mud with the pigs. That's what I always say. So discernment, and again, this theme of being yourself a friend, having healthy boundaries. And healthy boundaries also sometimes means that you create a little bit of discomfort if someone oversteps these boundaries. Because otherwise, what is a boundary if there's no consequence if somebody oversteps that? Never argue with a fool, right? Yeah, never argue with a fool. But do I put this maybe here? Never argue with a fool. Never argue with negative thinking, for example. Maybe it's the fool within yourself, where you just internalize unhealthy patterns. You know, if you're family tells you 100,000 times, who do you think you are? You might have kind of internalized that sentence, right? And in certain moments where you have to do what needs to be done, do what you've got, where you are with what you've got, do what you want, do what makes sense to you, pick those grapes, get the harvest, and then this little internal voice comes along and tells you, who do you think you are? Do you think you deserve this? 10 of Pentacles, really? Are you sure? Do you want to pick those grapes? Maybe someone else is going to, and no, you do it. And be yourself a friend, never argue with a fool, never argue with that internalized narcissist within you who told you it was okay to have this poisoned wine and drink from it, right? And build your life upon it. The universe kicked that over and it was better this way. So that's the kind of confusing, strange, very heavy, but very good reading. So a lot of emotional healing, a lot of maturity through that darker episode that you have had been through, healing yourself with meditation and breath work, constantly doing that every day, and then focus all of your energy on what you want to create. And there is everything about being a healer, a wounded healer. While healing yourself, you're healing others, and that in itself might have something to do with your destiny, with your passion, definitely, all of these wands energies here. And then, I said about 2 columns, one pays the bill and one is for your passion. Bring them together and there's no one stopping you. And you should definitely check out the yearly reading, and if you want the full picture, Sun, Moon and Rising. And that's all I got. I hope to see you soon. Share, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think about it, and see you soon. Now, my friend. Ciao.